Welcome everybody to a collective reading. This reading is going to be for the last week of November. And if you're in the US over here, the last week of November is Thanksgiving week. So I know it's been an interesting kind of energy happening lately out there, and Thanksgiving can be a challenge at the best of times, coming together with family, and you know, at the worst of times can be like like the mad principle, the mutually assured destruction. Everyone's just trying not to push the button first, and so it can be a challenging energy as well. For me, I'm choosing this week to focus on actual gratitude, or what I'm actually thankful for, instead of worrying too much about other situations. And so for me, that's a lot of appreciating nature, being out, appreciating the world around me, appreciating all you guys, anybody who's on here watching this, whether you're returning or your first time. I appreciate that so much. Thankful for all the signs and synchronicities and all the little things that I notice and I get to enjoy. And of course, thankful for all of the people that I've gotten to meet doing the podcast, doing spirituality, incredible practitioners, so many awesome people out there in the world. And it's been a real privilege and pleasure to be able to talk to and chat with some of them. So I'm really spending this time to focus in on gratitude, appreciation, thankfulness, and try to use the season for what it's genuinely intended to be for, and set aside other things at this time. We've got some ones that fell on the floor. Let me grab what they are. Here they are. The base energy coming up. So the one that didn't fall on the floor that wanted to jump up and be here is the number 41 card, communication. Yep, we can see it. Okay. So that is not surprising to me this week, that communication is going to come up for a lot of people. We have the wealth card, the number 34 card coming out. Excellent. And we have the joy card, number 37, coming out. Brilliant. That's an awesome base energy to be working with. Joy is really pretty self-explanatory, and I think it touches on what I was just talking about, is what are we truly thankful and appreciative and grateful for, and leaning into the joy of those things and appreciation of those things. It really helps to amplify the energy of joy. The wealth card coming in, now that obviously that can be monetary wealth coming your way, but it can also, this card can be a wealth of other things as well. It can be a wealth of joy. It can be a wealth of connections. It can be, the wealth card shows up in the reading usually to let us know that whatever the resources are that we need for this next leg of the journey, those resources are going to be readily available to us, is going to be bountiful. So for many people, that could mean some additional funds or the money we need coming in, but for other people, it could be a wealth of a different kind. Let's get some cards, some tarot on it, and see what it looks like for the collective. Please, my friends, what do we have? Let's see what comes out. All right, Knight of Pentacles coming out. See what comes out with it. Seven of Swords coming out with that. Oops. And one more, please, for this joy card, my friends. And the Seven of Wands coming out with it as well. This combination of cards to me, and this is an odd sort of feeling, you've got double sevens happening, and the joy card is also a 37 card. It does feel like we're overcoming a sense of stagnancy, trickery, a feeling of needing to be defensive over something. The Knight of Pentacles is usually that, like, there's an opportunity there, but we're slow to move on it, or some action needs to be taken on it. And then we have the double sevens here with the Seven of Swords and the Seven of Wands. Let me get one more on top of it, because it's kind of coming through in a couple of different ways here. And it may just be different messages for different people, but let's see. Yeah, it's coming in with the Chariot. So this is the need to take some action here to overcome this sort of, I don't know how bright that is. Can you see it? In we go. It's coming out with the Chariot. So there is some action or some movement that needs to be taken here. And I feel like it feels like don't let, how do I say this well? Don't let somebody else steal your thoughts or your energy here with the Seven of Swords. To be on guard for that. I feel like what it feels like is the stagnancy in this situation, or the not taking the move we need to take, has to do with letting our thoughts being taken up by things that aren't really worthy of our time or attention, or maybe people who keep trying to derail the situation, derail our thought process, or take up too much of our time. And it is certainly true when we come to a place of family gatherings, and that, you know, for a few days there, like something else, other things do take up a good deal of our time. But I'm getting the energy of like, don't let it steal your joy, because it is coming up on that joy card. Or yeah, be careful not to let whoever or whatever is I'm literally getting like stealing your thoughts. So I don't think it's like, I'm not getting like stealing your ideas or trying to use them for themselves. What it feels more like is people or situations that are trolling for your attention, but not in a good way. Don't let stuff like that steal your joy, because there's an action or something that needs to take place here on this Knight of Pentacles. We need to move into a Chariot energy, and Spirit really wanting you to be in your appreciation and the thankfulness and the joy in order to overcome the temptation to have other things stealing your thoughts at this time or interfering. What's going on with this wealth card, please? Page of Swords. Six of Swords. There's a lot of swords coming up. One more, please, friends. And the King of Wands coming in on this wealth card. So with this combination of cards here, it kind of feels, it feels literally like turning your back on or moving away from some kind of, I don't know. The only way that I can say it is some sort of inconvenient truth, because that's what it looks like with the Page of Swords and the Six of Swords here. It feels like somebody who wants to tell you something, or maybe some information that comes in is, it's just not worth your time or attention. And it feels like, you know, thank you for the sword, but I'm moving away from this situation now. Walking away from something that we've just come to realize is an unavoidable truth, or an unavoidable... I'm getting irreconcilable differences here. And then with the King of Wands that comes in on top of this, it has a feeling of like, I can handle it. I've got this. I'm protected. I'm gonna get one more card on top of it. This King of Wands that comes out on top of it is really giving me very much the thank you very much, but I think I know what I'm doing. I think I'm moving in my direction. I'm going to cultivate the things that I'm passionate about. I'm going to move in my own direction with this. What else can you tell me about that, please, my friends? The Knight of Swords coming up with that. And the King of Swords coming up with that. There are a lot of swords in this reading. Swords and Wands is definitely a time for truths and actions. But this energy on top of that, coming out on top of this wealth card, feels very much like taking that action, taking that chariot action. The King of Swords is clear and concise, knows their truth, knows what they want, is ready to wield that truth with some degree of authority. And the Knight of Wands is charging forward with something. What do we got over here? Sound of Pentacles coming up on top of that communication card. With the Hanged Man. And one more, please. And the Devil card. Yeah. It definitely feels like maybe we're thinking differently or seeing something in a different light, something that maybe we've been working on and cultivating. And coming to a realization with that Hanged Man card that something is actually not a good situation. It's a toxic trait or a toxic habit. I feel sometimes like, what does it feel like to me right now? Because I'm not quite getting I'm not quite getting toxic people or even a toxic situation off of it. It's like, something, again, there's communication coming in, and maybe it's something about the way that we're communicating something with other people. There's something. Let's get another card on it. Because this Hanged Man card, it feels like that energy feels like something internal, something like maybe we're realizing something was a trigger for us. Maybe we're realizing something wasn't quite healed about the way we were doing something that we've been working on, growing and cultivating for a while there with the Seven of Pentacles. So it could be our own internal journey, our own healing journey that we've been on, that we come to a realization about like what the root cause was, or where the origin point, thank you, of that internal trigger was for us. We've got the Two of Swords coming up with that. What are we blind to? So we've got the Two of Swords and the Eight of Cups coming up with that. So it feels like this is definitely like taking off the blindfold, seeing the truth of something, being able to make the decision to walk away from things that no longer serve us. And then we've got the Five of Cups and Justice coming out with that. That feels like take heart, trust, maybe, is what's coming through. Like, trust that the disappointment, like if you're feeling disappointment from having to walk away from something that you felt like you put a lot of energy into cultivating with that Seven of Pentacles, this kind of says, like, trust that whatever disappointment you're feeling right now with the Five of Cups is actually fair. It's actually justice. There's actually a higher purpose being served. What I'm getting through is, like, nothing is a waste of time because it all adds to... all experience adds to building us up, right? Adding to our repertoire, adding to our knowledge. And it kind of feels like we wouldn't have come to, like, this King of Wands energy, King of Swords energy, like, solid in our truth and power, knowing what our passion and our drive is. I told you that King of Wands really felt like, no, thank you. I think I will do things my way, sort of a vibe. And that's on that wealth card. So I really think that the key to unlocking the resources and the things that you're really hoping for has a lot to do with walking away from things that we now know were a time suck and weren't really contributing to our joy very much. So what is the top end energy here, friends? What's going on your end? All right, throw it on the floor. This is the number 36 card. It says it's the Seeker, the all-seeing eye, spirit, and release. And it says, could you surrender just a bit more? Definitely. I think I said trust on something. Yeah, I got a feeling of trust off of it. And this is definitely one of those something that feels disappointing or like a lot, like we're taking a loss having to walk away from something is actually not the loss we think it is. Or that it feels like it is. Should be sure to use that. Because if you're anything like me, like, I definitely know intellectually and trust that there's a plan and things are unfolding the way that they need to. Sometimes that knowing intellectually doesn't quite hit my feelings. Do you know what I mean? Like, just because I know something is working out for the better doesn't mean it feels good, basically. Which I think is natural and okay and normal. What else, please? The number 1 card. There is a reason you have those dreams. The Mystic, Intuition, High Priestess, Visionary. Absolutely. Absolutely. Collective, something you know in your soul has always been calling or has always been the dream is there for a reason. You're not just making stuff up or having fanciful thought processes. For some, it could literally be dreams and visions coming through right now. It's a great time to journal or write down thoughts and impressions that come to you, too. I know I've been having really strange dreams lately, so I'm sure that the energy is out there right now for a lot of people as things coming to the surface in our dream space. That one. Memento mori, life, presence, depth. The meaning is in the middle. The number 22 card. Interesting. This card is really giving like that chariot card, like the need to take action. Like Memento Mori, if I'm not mistaken, is the it means remember that you will die. And the idea behind it is to make life count, make this life count. And it literally says the meaning is in the middle. So I feel like it's one of those messages, like, how do I say this? All paths ultimately lead to the same place, but it's the twists and turns, the paths that you take to get there that make the meaning of the experience is what it's giving to me right now. Live in the moment. And with that intuition card, it feels like trust the impressions or the intuition that you are getting in the moment. The Justice card comes out again on this Seeker. So this is definitely double justice on this reading. A balancing of the scales or a clearing of some kind of karma. Whatever you're walking away from or whatever energy, it doesn't have to even be literal. It could be like, I'm walking away from this thought process. I'm walking away from ideas or beliefs that were holding me back, either about myself or about other people. Whatever it is that is falling away this this week, whatever truths are becoming revealed, is setting us free from a karmic balancing, like lesson learned situation over. Just clear that energy out. The Star coming out with that. Yeah, it's a big healing. And it's being healed, you have the opportunity to shine more clearly. I feel like I heard let it happen or let it, yeah, just allow. What else, please, with that one? The Hierophant coming in with it. And one more. The Nine of Cups. So I feel like the Nine of Cups is an energy of alignment with your wishes, with your desires. And the Hierophant can represent authority, like a spiritual authority. It can represent institutional processes, like institutional spirituality, if that resonates for you. It can represent, sometimes it represents the institution of marriage for some people. So I think probably in this situation, what I'm kind of getting a wobble on the Hierophant, and I think it's because that Hierophant probably represents something different to different people depending on who you are in the collective, like depending on what your story is. So that could be literally a spiritual authority. So it could be a more dogmatic religious thought process. It could be a literal authority in your life, as somebody at work, part of an institution. It could be it could be a family member in a position of authority. So, you know, an elder family member or something like that. And being is that it sometimes even represents marriage. It could be a spouse or a partner in this situation. So whatever that dogmatic establishment authority is in your life, whether that's your own belief structure or it represents a person or a situation, I think that is what is healing and what we are balancing and coming out of, trusting the process, because setting ourselves free, healing from the things that we previously held in a position of authority over us in our own hearts and minds, being free of those constraints sets up the energy for the Nine of Cups, for a wish fulfillment, for a manifestation. And with it's coming up on that card that's very much a trust card. I feel like I'm seeing like just like fall or just like winter, I'm seeing like the leaf of whatever this is already dry and brittle and cleaving to the branch, right? It's a gentle breeze would blow it away. There's just a little bit of surrendering and letting go of it, and it would fall away. What do we got over here, please? On this mystic card, High Priestess, Visionary. Wow, we've got a lot of repeat cards coming up here. Seven of Swords and the Seven of Pentacles come out together now over here on this card. All of these sevens. Seven of Pentacles, Seven of Swords, Seven of Wands. 777. Over and over again. And the Knight of Wands coming up with it. Yeah, folks, I love you so much, but it looks to me like whatever this situation is something we were really cultivating and working on and waiting for it to blossom and hoping that that was going to produce something here. It's like the Seven of Swords. It's really, or like I said earlier, it's really just stealing your thoughts, stealing your energy, taking energy away from what we're actually passionate about, what we want to charge forward into, what things really matter and feel right to you. This is on that, again, that High Priestess, that intuition card about being a visionary. Now is the time to be a visionary and step up and do what it is your calling is really calling you for. And I feel like it feels like we were trying to play a safer, more conventional sort of a route, playing it safe when something in our dreams or something in our imagination, something inside that's calling is the unconventional route, or it's not the conventional wisdom on something. The Hermit coming out with that as well. Yeah, it's time to come out of that isolation, to come out of that I heard like humble or humility. And like not that you should be, you know, unhumble or ungrateful, but it's time to shine that light on the Hermit card, right? The Hermit goes into isolation so that they can gain inner wisdom, inner peace, and inner knowledge, so they can connect to the universe and inner self. But there comes a point at which it's time to step out of that isolation, to shine that light brightly for the world to see. To use that which we've gained inside to shine outwardly. We've got the Chariot coming up again, and that's on that Momentum Mori card. They really want us to get a step up on, to get a move on, actually taking some of the steps and actions that we've been thinking we want to take. Yeah. What do we got? Because we've got the King of Pentacles and the Six of Wands coming out. So this is the King of Pentacles is going to be the King of Resources, the King of Financial Stability, and the Six of Wands is a victory, a success. Sitting tall in the saddle, getting the recognition that we deserve. And those are coming up on that Memento Mori card. Like the journey is what makes life fun. That's what makes it, that's what the point of it is. And taking that step, that action, that is a victory in this scenario. That's awesome. The first step is always the most awkward or the scariest part of it. But I think that this overall, like, it feels like once we know a truth in our hearts, no amount of pretending or towing the line is ever going to make us feel satisfied again if what we know to be true about ourselves, if we know in our hearts that there's something else calling. Yeah. The Devil and the Queen of Pentacles coming out. So it reads like feeling comfortable in our stagnant situation, like trying for too long to toe the line, or not wanting the drama, not wanting to have to go through making the changes, the upheaval. So we've been like in our nesting, like it's giving like the creature comforts and the things that we've been sort of nesting in is the devil in this situation. Does that make sense what I'm saying? Hopefully it does. Yeah. Eight of Swords. It's a mental trap. That can feel like a heavy message coming through, right? Like Spirit really feels, and again, follow your own intuition. If it's not for you, it's not for you. Don't, always do what you know feels right for you. But if it resonates, and if you know that the things that I'm saying, it applies to you, you've got that inkling inside, and this is definitely that reading that says you're coming up on a place here in life where you're going to need to pull the ripcord on something, right? But it can be challenging to want to step away from things where we feel comfortable. There is only one of you, and that is your strength and your gift to this world to be unique. Honor your gift by listening to your heart, follow your passions, and trusting your inner voice. Oops, can we see it? Might be too bright. There we go. 100%. Thank you so much, Spirit, for those messages and for working with us today. We appreciate you always so much. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate you always. Like, subscribe, all of that fun stuff. It helps get the message out to other people, helps spread that energy around. And we will see you guys next time.